15 French words that were borrowed into Russian that if you speak French or if you're from France, you already know these words. Now, some of them have a slightly different meaning compared to their French equivalent. For example, chauffeur. Chauffeur is, I think, a chauffeur. I'm not sure how to say it in French. Chauffeur in Russian is a driver, a personal driver. Is a person who drives, let's say, a limo, your business car, who is your driver, who that's his profession. He's a driver. In French, I believe chauffeur, and again, I don't speak French. So if I say these things and they're wrong, please correct me in the comments. I'm no French speaker here. But I believe that in French, chauffeur is any driver. I can be chauffeur in French, even though I'm not a professional driver. In Russian, it's a professional driver, chauffeur. Next is maquillage. Maquillage is makeup. Maquillage. And I believe that this is the same thing as in French. It's what ladies, sometimes men, put on their face, and that's maquillage. Then we have paletot. And this is a big surprise to me because a lot of these words were borrowed in the 20th or 19th century, maybe even before that. And they have then shape-shifted into something that's different. In French, paletot is a very specific kind of a dress. In Russian, paletot is almost any outerwear. Almost any, I think, something that's longer. Maybe because we also have something called pukhavik. Pukhavik is a warm jacket, winter jacket. We also have something called kurtka. Kurtka is a lighter jacket for outerwear. Paletot, in my opinion, and I'm no fashion person, I would call something paletot when it's a bit more formal. When it's a lady's dress that looks kind of more dressy, and for a guy, it's something more formal. I have the photos on the screen right now so you can see what I mean. Now, this can, the terms for the actual thing might be different, but I'm giving you the native's perspective, what a native would think. So you guys can be on the same page with a native and not with those who know all the fashion things. Next is trottoir. Even sounds French. Trottoir. Trottoir. And this is just sidewalk. Trottoir. Fairly simple. And you know what also can be simple? Learning Russian. You might say, how, Fedor? How? What do I do? Well, join Be Fluent. Learning Russian with Be Fluent is easy. We've already put together a great curriculum for you with everything. Grammar, vocabulary, speaking and listening, and even learning from Russian natives. All within our course, Russian Step by Step. You can check it out with the first link in the description. There is no commitment to any funds up front. We have a 7-day free trial. Check it out. You can see what we have there. For 7 days, take one lesson per day and see if you're making good progress. If you like your progress, stay with us. If you don't, there's no commitment in money. So you have tried, you don't like it, you can leave. If you like it, you can stay. But I'm sure that you will stay if you like this video. This is a similar format to our lessons on the platform because they're very conversational. We focus on communication, not on some books, tests, none of that. Communication from you to the native, or vice versa. That is all. Check us out with the first link in the description. Next, menu. Menu is French. I was surprised, but it just means a menu. Simple enough. Then we have bureau. Bureau is typically an office where it's a specific kind of a place. For example, we have Bureau Naходок. This is your lost and found office, Bureau Naходок. And I don't think that we would call that Office Naходок, like an office of findings. Not really. So Bureau is a very specific kind of a place, an office that's specialized in something. Then we have Portfolio, also a French word, portefeuille. This can be your school backpack, portfolio. This can be a briefcase. It can be anything whatsoever. In fact, portfolio these days can also be called portfolio инвестиций, portfolio of investments. I'm not sure if that's the same in French. I know that portfolio in English can be portfolio of investments, but in Russian, those three things can be can be described as portfolio. Your school backpack for any kid, a more formal kind of briefcase, and then the investments portfolio. Then we have jury. Jury, you might think that, oh, that's jury in the courthouse. No. Jury is sometimes can be referred to the courthouse jury, very rarely, maybe in some professional slang or professional world of judges. But jury is typically when we're talking about some sort of competitions. Athletic, maybe some other competitions, maybe like schools competing against each other in something. Jury is a lineup of judges, and it's almost never used for any courthouse hearings. So jury is that. And the next is parfum. And when I heard this word for the first time in my life, I knew it was French. Maybe I was like 4 years old. Even then, I knew that it was French. Parfum. It sounds like French. Parfum is, I believe parfum used to be any kind of scent that you add, but in Russian, parfum is specific to your cologne or cologne, I believe. I'm not sure. The English terms also confuse me, but it's something that you spray on yourself for a good smell. For men, and I believe that for women, we don't use parfum. I think for women, we use dухи. But parfum, I think, is specific for men. So yeah, parfum is used for that. Next, we have coupé. Coupé, let me see, I believe in French, it was compartment and two-door car, coupé. In Russian, coupé is specifically used for trains. When we have multiple types of cars where it's a long-distance train where you can close the door and you can have your private space. Think of Harry Potter go on the train to Hogwarts. They were all sat in those coupes, in those compartments where we have two bottom seats, two top seats. And if it's a long distance travel, people sleep at the bottom, people sleep at the top. Okay, that's coupe when the door is closed. In Russia, we also have other compartments where the door doesn't close, so it's more open, of course, less expensive as you can imagine. Coupe. Another similar word is salon. Now, salon, I believe in French, let me see, it's more of a lounge and living room. I think, again, might be wrong. In Russian, salon is typically something nicer, like a place where it's a nicer place, salon. For example, we can have salon красоты being the most common one, which is like a beauty salon. And salon красоты is a staple phrase. Nobody can even take them apart. You cannot call your beauty salon as anything else but salon красоты. Salon can also be used for, let's say, сигарный salon. It's where people smoke cigars. And that's your kind of area where they smoke cigars. So salon in Russian, most 95% will be used for beauty salons or maybe some other massage salons, things like that. But sometimes it's used for describing like living rooms. So salon is a French word borrowed into Russian. And another very similar word is wagon. Wagon, I was surprised that wagon is a word from French. I thought it was a German word, but wagon is a French word. Wagon in Russian is so you have a train, and the car is wagon. It can be a passenger wagon, it can be a freight wagon, it can be anything whatsoever. Wagon is one of those compartments. Next is café. Café makes sense. Café, French word into Russian, café. Don't say coffee, because coffee is coffee. It's café. So stress on the last N, just like in French. Café. It's a very important distinction. Then we have manège. Manège, I believe in French it was something different. It was for horses, right? And in French, yeah. But in Russian, it's any sort of a closed area, manège, typically for any sports. For example, I play tennis in something called manège. So it's any covered area where inside people play sports. And the last word is buffet. Buffet, we do pronounce the last T, buffet. It's a place where you go get refreshments, typically at the theater or movie theater, something like that. Not regular meals, but more so a snack. Buffet. Snack bar. Call it that way. Buffet. That is all. If you know French, you know these words. They might have a different meaning though. So now you know a bit more words in Russian. And join me fluent with this button right here, or keep on watching our YouTube videos with this next one. It's up to you.